Hi, I'm Steve Kometko in the beautiful Crystal Room at Tavern on the Green, one of New York's most famous eateries, and the place where a wedding reception is staged in The Mirror Has Two Faces. The talented cast includes Jeff Bridges, Pierce Brosnan, Mimi Rogers, and Lauren Bacall. And then, of course, there's the director and star, Barbra Streisand, a legend in her own time. She returns to the big screen for the first time since 1991's Prince of Tides, and for her first full-blown comedy since the main event. That was 17 years ago. Is Miss Streisand still a funny girl? You'll see. You'll also see The Mirror Has Two Faces take aim at society's attitudes towards beauty and love.
Oh, I hate lipstick.
In a mirror, there are many reflections for a person to see. A man searching for an uncomplicated relationship.
A math professor at Columbia University.
He is looking for a relationship that is has no sexuality to it whatsoever.
A woman looking to find her soulmate.
Although if sex is something that interests you, I'm sure I can provide that on occasion. Give it enough warning.
I think he's warped.
A mother clinging to the afterglow of her youth and trying to understand her two daughters.
I want you to get up there, and I want you to remember today is my day. And if you don't behave yourself, I'm going to have your birth certificate blown up as a Christmas card.
I should have never encouraged you to speak.
She's a very, very, very complex woman who I think is a very frightened woman and very needy and terrified of being alone.
A couple caught up in society's definition of ideal.
Excuse me. Going to the ladies' room alone.
I think a lot of people confuse lust for love because it feels like love. You know, it feels great. It feels mad and wonderful. But a lot of that is hormones.
It's all about love, really. And the many guises of love, the many faces of love, and how it happens when you least expect it with the most unlikely people.
Each reflecting a longing for real love in The Mirror Has Two Faces.
I love the fact that what the movie ultimately becomes is a woman learning to love herself.
Rose!
Hi, Alex.
I can't believe it's you.
It really creates a context for that kind of roller coaster ride that relationships and love take you through.
But I'm always making these movies that have sad endings. And I thought, no, it's about time to dance in the streets.
Miss O'Donnell.
Yes?
Give me a review of the movie first.
I loved it.
It's kind of hard. Mimi Rogers is sitting over there. If you didn't like it, you'd be in big trouble.
No, I loved it. And Mimi Rogers was brilliant.
She
was.
was.
Evil sister. The one I would never wish to have. I thought it was great. I loved every minute of it. You laugh, you cry. It's a feel-good film and gives you hope for love in the 90s.
What did you connect with most in the movie?
Oh, sort of the woman who felt like she wasn't pretty enough or good enough or too chubby and, you know, always feeling that her sister, not really sister, but friends had, you know, that one-up in that department, I think. I think it's definitely relatable for everyone who feels somehow less than in one area or not.
Do you think going to a Barbra Streisand premiere, is this like a big deal for you?
It's huge. You kidding me? I have a scrapbook. I have the Mirror Has Two Faces invitation. I'm keeping my little table card. I wouldn't let the guy take my ticket. It's very exciting for me.
And they let you get in? They let you get away with that?
Yeah, I have a show.
This is true.
You know, I got my own show. It's really me. And got past security.
Wow. What do you think the secret is to lasting love?
Its value diminishes greatly. You plan sex dates and then you go, I'm just too tired.
If you were going to be in a romantic comedy of this sort, who would you pick? like I need to ask this question. Who would you pick as your leading man?
But it's just, you know, if he's available, I would probably pick him. Or the other ones I love, Emilio Estevez. I like him too. Got a little crush on Emilio. So the two of them, either one.
Earlier this evening, the stars paraded into the grand old Ziegfeld Theater just a few blocks away for the premiere of Miss Streisand's latest opus. And as always, we were on the red carpet to capture all the excitement.
When do you know when love is real? You just know. That's all.
I just fell in love, and you know it from in there, and then there's no question about it. And I guess what you feel like is dancing, because there's some dancing in the streets in this movie, and that's, I guess, an expression of how you feel. You feel lighter than air, and you know it, and nobody can tell you it. You just know it.
Your heart will tell you.
You know it. Oh, yeah, you know it. You know it. You know it immediately. But you just don't believe it.
I think it's in actions. I think that all reality is in what people do as opposed to what they say.
I think when it has endurance. I think when it lasts over a long period of time. Remember, there's that expression, limerence, and that lasts 2 years, and then if it's over, if you can continue, then it's love.
Barbara, how do you know when love is real? You know.
Though a physical metamorphosis is a key part of the story, Ms. Streisand vetoed any mention of plastic surgery, as in the French film that served up the idea for The Mirror Has Two Faces. Ms. S. reportedly won't even have her ears pierced and resisted those who suggested she have a nose job early on in her career. Coming up, we'll hear from the lady herself about love, sex, and movies, and we'll show you more of what just might be the season's best date movie when we come back. Welcome back. I'm Steve Kometko in the Crystal Room at Tavern on the Green, where the elite have come to meet, eat, and greet the stars of The Mirror Has Two Faces following its world premiere. In the new romantic comedy, Barbra Streisand goes from frumpy professor who loves the Yankees to glamour goddess who loves Jeff Bridges and Pierce Brosnan. Let's get some of the first post-premiere critiques right now.
It's a great romantic comedy, but it's a great romance. I mean, she's made one of the classic romance stories and done it now in 1996. It's absolutely, it's a classic, and it's pure Streisand. I mean, it's musically brilliant, it's very funny, it's very lush, it's very unembarrassed about its feelings.
After having worked with her in Prince of Tides, which she also directed and starred in, could you see, as a member of the audience tonight, could you see certain things that you looked at and said, oh, there's Barbara, there's Barbara's hand, there's Barbara's... Were there certain stylistic things that you picked up?
I know, well, no, I see her as a filmmaker, and I look and I know the kind of care that she takes with everything. The great thing about working with her was that no matter how off you were, or no matter how tired you were, you knew that she would never make you look anything less than the best that you could look. She simply doesn't understand anything else. So that and people talk about how tough she is, but the fact is she's protected by protecting her own standards. She's protecting the actors who work in her films, and I see that when I see her movies. I see infinite pains being taken, always.
It was 1957 when an ambitious teenager, Barbra Streisand, took a job sweeping floors at an off-Broadway theater. It didn't take her long to get on Broadway, 7 years later, as the greatest star in Funny Girl. Times have changed, and so is the lady. She's more a force to be reckoned with than ever before.
That wine, it made me warm.
I can fix that.
It's okay.
Why did you decide to do a romantic comedy, and this particular one, at this time?
I was tired of being so serious, you know. And also, I mean, the normal heart kind of fell through at the time. The actors weren't available, the script wasn't right, and it was fated, it was destiny, you know. It was like I wanted to have fun making a movie. Yeah, I wanted to bring more fun into my life.
Did you have a good time making this movie?
I had a good time on a certain level, but, you know, directing a movie is not a good time. It's really, really hard work. So, and it takes your life. It consumes your life, you know. And that's why I wanted to make a romantic comedy in about a year or a year and a half, unlike my other movies that took many, many years. So it was a great challenge to me as a director.
What does The Mirror Has Two Faces mean?
It could mean the two faces of love. It could mean the at least two faces that we wear within ourselves. Maybe the one looking outward and the one looking inward. Don't make me look like a clown.
You won't look like a clown. Here, you have to blend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see yourself as an ugly duckling, do you?
I did.